All right, we're going to let everyone get through the dessert line and get started. So if you're needing to check on your bids for the silent auction, please take this time to do that, and we'll get going in about 10 minutes. Okay, we will get started at 7:25, so if you need to make that bid on that last one there, please do that. And we will close the silent auction at 7:30. And for the speakers, for the inductees, we will go just exactly in the order of the program. So we good to go? Okay, I'm going to get started. Okay, so as we're cleaning up, I'll get some, I want to thank some people and recognize a few that were responsible in organizing this event. So I'd like to start over here at the far table to my far right. If you guys would just give a wave. Mr. Sequeira is right here. He used to be athletic director here, so he's not even paying attention. Mr. Sequeira, if you give a wave, and his wife Michelle. Okay, now we can't be doing that every time I announce a person because we'll be here all night. So just hold a second. Okay, I'm sure he appreciated that. He even missed all the nice things I said about him, and I was nice. I thought I was very nice. And his wife Michelle is with him. Also at the table, we have Fonzo White. He is our new head boys basketball coach. Hold your applause. And then we have Scott Hatton and his wife Amy. Scott is the new one of the new assistant principals here. So we can clap now. That's good. All right, back in the corner, I have Dr. Lee Schmidt, class of 1999. He's president of the Alumni Association, and I say this about Lee Lee about every year. Truly enjoy working with him, and will miss his company in this way. He is thoughtful, kind, smart, curious, and very reasonable person. Those are qualities that I admire. Also, I would tell you what he does for a living, and I say this every year too. I don't want to do that close to dinner. And so, did you work today? Did you go to work? You did? So those of you that shook his hand just should have said something before. So anyway, we'll move on. So anyway, thank you, Lee, for your dedication to this program. Good. Okay, and then we have the Alumni Association members in attendance. So that's in your program. And I'd just like for them to give a little wave. Once again, hold your applause. Angela Bowman, class of 83, over there. Vicki Snow Hayes, class of 70, secretary. Eric Isert, class of 84, treasurer. Also others in attendance, I already mentioned. Jeff Sequeira, class of 85. Melissa Combs, class of 75. Delbert Hilligus, class of 70. Saw Delbert around, there he is. Denny Leffler, class of 81. Donna Riley, class of 71. Debbie Snow Shane, class of 72. Mike Smith, class of 84. So thank you for your service to the association. Okay, we also have several Hall of Fame members in attendance this evening. Once again, hold your applause. So if you can, just wave your hand wildly, and we will want to see where you are. Dr. Rex Bickers, Larry Brumley, Joe Sequeira, Representative Ed Clear, of course I mentioned Melissa Combs, Joe Hinton, higher Joe, so people can see it, there you go. Okay. Wayne Timms, there he is. Angela Bowman, of course. Janie Whaley, former principal, back there, sitting next to her fantastic husband, Roger Whaley, who is also an inductee. So welcome back, inductees. Okay, thanks to the following. I want to thank the WNAS staff, Joe Biega. We'll be rebroadcasting that on YouTube, the FCTV in the coming days. Also want to thank the food servers for getting things ready kind of on the fly, because we dropped this bomb on them a little too early, and so they adapted very, very well. They under-promised and outperformed, so thank to Stumblers for that. And the sponsors, we have their listed in the program: Norton Healthcare, Brooks Christmas Trees, Jacoby Oil Service, Cement Board Fabricators, AC's Laboratories, Ed Clear, State Representative, Flex Wealth Management, and Answer Foot and Ankle Center. So thanks again for your help in putting on this event. Also, all right, that's kind of weak, but okay. Friends and families of the inductees, we have over 150 in attendance here tonight. You can feel it, so it doesn't help that the air is not running, okay, but we have a lot of people in here. So also I want to put in a brief plug for future Hall of Fame inductees. There are currently over 40 members who represent both staff and alumni. Nominees can include former students, teachers, coaches, or staff members of FCHS. People are encouraged to nominate someone who stands out through his or her contributions to education, business, arts, leadership, athletics, community, or country. To be considered, a nominee must have been out of school a minimum of 10 years or completed 10 years of service with the school. And the nomination form can be accessed through the Facebook page as well as the school's website. It's easy to nominate somebody. You don't even have to be alive to nominate, or I mean, you have to be allowed to nominate somebody, but to have somebody in there, you don't even have to have that. So if you would like to be a member of the Alumni Committee, we're always looking for new members. We meet monthly and give away about $5,000 in scholarships to deserving FC students they might be listed in your program. Organized gatherings. There's a gathering at a football game and at basketball games, and then this is the culminating event for this. So now to lead into the inductees. As usual, we have impressive people, 6 of them this year, and I'm sincerely humbled to be in their company this evening. However, I would like to make 2 of my objectives very clear tonight. Yes, we wish to highlight the important contributions of our inductees, but part of my job is to take them down a notch or 2. Perhaps to humble them just a little bit. That is to protect you, the audience member, so that they, number 1, don't stay up here too long, and 2, that we all don't walk away feeling grossly inadequate. So that is my sacred duty. So with that said, let's get started. The first inductee we have is Jerry Hale, class of 1971. And I am surprised, I am very surprised that it took this long to induct Jerry Hale. With all the accomplishments that he's had, the great career that he had here, although I was, one of his teammates here said that you could count the number of assists he had on one hand through his 4 years here. That's good. Thank you, Brad. He is an absolute must to this organization. We should not have one without someone like him. Could it have taken so long because he went to the University of Kentucky? Could it? It's not like he'd been on sports like Pete Rose or took performance-enhancing drugs like Mark McGuire, at least as far as we know. I don't know. Granted, he did wear the blue and white and played for an institution that became synonymous with what was wrong with big-time college sports. But other than that, he should be in the Hall of Fame. So in all seriousness, this is very deserving, and again, long overdue. Congratulations, Jerry Hale, class of 71. Yeah, you can put it right there.
Well, the one thing is, I guess it's good to be alive to get this, even though it might have taken a little time, but I'm truly appreciative of this award, and want to thank Donna Riley, wherever Donna is. Okay, thanks. There she is. Thanks, Donna, for the nomination, and also the Alumni Board for this honor in the induction. And I also want to congratulate the other inductees as well. So congratulations to you all. When I first came through these doors when I was 14 years old in 1967, we did have air conditioning. Because, boy, this is not my forte to be up here talking in front of people. I can play in front of a lot of people, but talking in front of people is a little different for me. But one of my goals and one of my dreams was to play at the University of Kentucky, and you can do it again if you like. But to make that goal, the one thing that I wanted to do, I want to be prepared academically as well as athletically, and Floyd Central, did those both for me. And the teachers that I had, I mean, I think of Don Charter and Ray Weatherholt, Wilbur Morrison, as I say, Buddy Hall, Bob Singleton, Mickey Neely, and just so many, Coach Hinton. There's so many that help prepare me for, college, for the future, and prepare me for things to do down the line as I got into business. And I just, truly appreciate all of them and what they did for me. And I'll get this straight because I got them backwards now. But one thing that Floyd Central also did for me, I mean, besides the athletics, but it gave me some great friendships, and Jeff Curry and Larry Brumley, two of my dearest friends. And we had such a magical ride in 1971, at the state finals in Hinkle Fieldhouse with the Super Hicks and all the people on that team, Jerry Schellenberg and Tom Schellenberg, Donnie Ewell, Mike Richards, Kim Becker, Gary Pate, Gary Roberts, Keegan Wright. I mean, those guys, that was the ultimate team. And, that friendship that we have is something that's, you can't, you'll always remember. And I appreciate our friendship. And second, I'd like to thank our family. And my daughters, Ann and Lindsay, couldn't be here tonight. They had unfortunately had prior engagements. My son Patrick's here with his wife Lana, and our 6th grandchild, which will be due in February. That wasn't in here. But the one thing, I mean, it's really exciting for them to be here. And all the charity work and stuff that I did outside of athletics was something that my kids have carried on, because I was involved in Big Brothers for 50 years, still talk to my little brother who's down in Florida, but we still communicate. I got him when he was 5 years old, and when I was a sophomore year in college. And, those memories and things that we have growing up, that I thought I helped him do put him in the right direction. And he owns a business down there and is doing great. And the one thing, I guess, the biggest charity that I was involved in was the American Diabetes Association, and I was involved in a lot of I was a chair in Fayette County in the Bluegrass area, and I was really proud of that because I'm a type 1 diabetic, and it's close to my heart. And like I said, you don't have to worry about the 5 minutes, but in closing, I'd like to thank my wife, Pat. I was 14 years old when Diane Thornton introduced us in the lunch line. And that was 56 years ago. And we've been married for 46 years now, and it's been a crazy journey, but looking forward to more. So I'm really appreciative for this honor, so thank you very much.
Okay, fantastic. I always think when I look, kind of see films of that with the Super Hicks and all that, I see that you guys gave up a lot of points. A whole bunch, man. You have 90 points a game, something like that. Anyway, I get the microphone. You guys gave it to me. All right, our next one is Linda Book, class of 1973. Now, there can be no historical group residing in Floyd's Knobs that does not have someone with the last name Book in it. It just can't, it's not possible. I mean, we have a Striegel, I don't know if we have a Bannet or anything like that, but it just would not be right. And it would be plain weird. Sort of like French fries without ketchup or a European soccer match without some sort of riot, okay? And everything Linda seems to touch turns to gold. She kind of has the Midas touch there, from local community to Haiti and Belize, and does not seem to be hindered by any self-doubt at all. So I'm really anxious, or curious, not anxious, I'm eager to hear what it is that she has to say. So Linda Book, class of 73.
Evening, everybody. And just so you know, my mom was a Bannet, so we do have Bannets in our family too. Like Jerry, I'm very honored and humbled to be here tonight, and thank you all for coming. Thank you to the Alumni Board. And I want to thank my family and my friends and my coworkers and my classmates and everyone for supporting me and coming here tonight. It's through their love, encouragement, and support that I am standing here. It wasn't a single effort, it was a team effort. I was blessed to have a firm foundation established by my parents at St. Mary's School and here at Floyd Central, where I learned my core values that have led to my success. My parents led by their example on the farm and how they made work fun. Even picking strawberries and pickles was a fun, racing down the roads. And I'm sure a lot of you all had picked pickles, right? Phyllis? As always, they told us you don't have to be the best, but you have to do your very best. And that was the motto that I think I followed through the years. Another way they supported that I learned so much was by their strong faith, their way of mentoring neighborhoods, kids, and helping their community. It was 50 years ago that I graduated from Floyd Central. Thanks to my classmates, we're having a big reunion this year. Yes, we have our big reunion, but it seems like just yesterday we were running these halls, quarterbacking the turkey boat team, going to prom. It's amazing how 50 years goes by, so quickly for all of us. But back then we had big dreams and thought we were going to change the world. Remember that, girls, how we thought that? But it was at St. Mary's Catholic School and here at Floyd Central, where I cultivated the joy of learning, love of reading, basic business skills, and leadership skills that I developed and continue to grow over the years. I had the biggest lessons I have learned through my life experiences and from some companies I worked for out of high school. In 1991, when Cellular Advantage was started, which was my company, I wanted it to be a company based on Christian values, with integrity, respect for all employees, a fair and just workplace, and a company that gave value and service to its customers as well. Our motto was win, win, win. Win for our employees, win for our customers, and win for Cellular Advantage. Our store's motto was your friendly neighborhood store, where we sold a good product at a fair price and gave outstanding customer service. I think with the help of some wonderful staff, which some of them are here tonight with me, and some awesome sales reps and managers, we achieved these goals, which led to Cellular Advantage's success and our longevity of 28 years in business. So that was constantly changing. And it all started, I'm sure you all will remember, it started with the car phones and the bag phones and the prepaid, we had 10,000 paging customers. It went to prepaid. And then, of course, we had the brick phone, you know, the portable phone and the StarTAC flip phone, and now it's the smartphones that everybody's got in their pockets. So it's a changing industry, but we adapted, and that's what kept us in business. We all worked hard together, but we also had a lot of fun together, and one of my greatest joys was mentoring my employees and watching them grow, just as my parents did on the farm. We encouraged each other to succeed and had fun together at company picnics, ball games, monthly meetings, Christmas parties. We were not just a company, but a family, even as we expanded to 13 stores and 70 employees over the years. With our great team working together, as a farm girl and a graduate of Floyd Central with only one accounting class at Ivy Tech, so I was able to lead my company, becoming the top agent in the nation and even winning a trip to the Super Bowl. So also, I take great pride in being a female-owned business owner that was a top producer and leader in a very male-dominated industry. It was that way when we started, and unfortunately, it is still that way today, ladies, so keep that in mind. I did not expect, nor want, nor get any special advantages because of that, but we were definitely treated differently over the years. And I remember one time we went to a thing in Las Vegas, and it was a communication show, and we went into a vendor's display. Well, all the sales reps kind of walked away. They didn't want to wait on us. They thought we were the little ladies, you know, there to get the wives there to get the free samples. So we placed a big order, and I remember as we was walking out, we had our pretty woman moment. Bet you wished you waited on us now. So that was all part of it. I have to say, over the years, I feel we made a positive impact as a female-owned company and was finally able to earn the respect that was due. I am so thankful that through my travels over the years throughout this great country and this majestic world that God created, that I have been exposed to so many wonderful sights and beautiful people. At the same time, I have also seen the ugliness of the world as well. Because of both, I know it has expanded my views and helped me to appreciate what I have each day and feel obligated to give back where I can. Through my charitable foundation, I have helped and want to continue to help others in need by empowering them to improve their own lives, especially single moms and children in our country and throughout the world. So I have been very, very blessed to have wonderful individuals and team alongside me through this journey. I appreciate all of the lessons I have learned along the way and hope to continue to grow, learn, travel, and give back through the rest of this next stage of my life. And of course, to have a lot of fun along the way. So again, thank you for this honor and award. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
You'll get the prop here in a moment. Of course, Linda Brooke, I'm shocked that you didn't take full advantage of this. You said your mother was a Bannett? If you kept that name and were Linda Bannett Book, you would run unopposed to county commissioner every year. Cannot believe you didn't take advantage of that. With all the other proper sense that you have of climates and strong female business, all of these things. Anyway, maybe that's something you consider. Okay, all right. Next is Charlotte Wisman Ipsan, class of 1982. I thought I would add a little flavor to the evening with a prop. I have a ladder over here. For those of you who don't know, and I had forgotten, the Dazzlers had a theme for ladders in the early 80s. Are we live on, are we got WNAS? All right, then I can't use that next joke. But anyway, it was a big thing then, lesser known than leg warmers with big hair, both of which I can easily assume that Charlotte dabbled in at that time. Now, through mutual friends, my wife Megan and I have gotten to know the Ipsans, Rob and Charlotte, over the last several years, but I must confess it took me a while to figure out, and it's probably because I played college football before concussion protocol, that she is Tony Wisman's sister and Jimmy Wisman's daughter. I didn't know that it was probably a year. Tony and I go way back, played high school football together, and Jimmy was one of my Little League baseball coaches, and most likely the source of some unresolved childhood trauma. That said, I can see where the work ethic comes from. Congratulations, Charlotte.
Now, the really funny thing is I could not do a leg heel stretch right now. You paid me $1,000. I might need it later. Yeah, thank you. It truly is a great honor to join those being inducted tonight, those who are already among the ranks, those that are yet to come. So congratulations again to all of you all. Thank you to all those who volunteer their time to make this celebration happen, to be able to provide scholarships to help so many. That was one of the things that drew me to this, and Donna, you and your team, just hearing all the other things, not just Impact 100, right, but all the other things, it truly is just to help others there. And special gratitude to my parents, childhood trauma or not. He might have thought he was a referee many times at the games, or umpires, I think you call it. I just quietly left the field. I probably didn't even see you play when that happened. And my family and friends who are here to support me as always. I am very fortunate to be able to serve as a senior vice president for Norton Healthcare. You will see much more of us over here in Southern Indiana. And if you don't know Russ Cox, Mike Goff, two incredible leaders that serve as great mentors to me, no matter where we are in a boardroom, in a meeting, they will turn to me and say, I know Ipsan, Southern Indiana. So we're coming more and more. Honestly, the impact that touched this amazing school district is incredible. Now, I'm not sure which teacher or faculty member was probably the most influential in my career path choice. Was it the lessons at Camp Boggy? Anybody know what Camp Boggy is? You all didn't go? Sorry. Kevin Bailey and Brian Taylor, they created life lessons all under the guise of a camping experience. You didn't get to, bunk with your friends. Trace, did you go to Camp Boggy? See? No? Oh, she knew about it. Yeah, everybody knew about it. Perhaps it was the self-proclaimed famous ladder routine with the Dazzlers on the football field. I mean, if you're brave enough to get on a ladder in a tuxedo outfit while attempting a really cheesy smile, you can do anything. What is there not to do? Maybe it was the vibrant discussions in Mr. Singleton's class. I heard Mr. Singleton mentioned before. And you knew he was provoking you. You knew he wanted you to argue with someone else. And you did it anyway. Like, you gave in, and you could see him smiling in the back because he made it happen. Or it could have been having to eat worm cake in Mr. Weatherholt's class. Did anybody else have to do that? I did it. It was for the A. But 1982, 2004, 2006, 2010, 2018, all very, very special years. Proud alumni and parent of 4 amazing, successful kids who were all fortunate enough to graduate from Floyd Central. And I think we've got a 2041 floating around. He was a little squeaker here up in the front, but 2041, yeah, that was hard to say. He's coming. So way to go, New Albany-Floyd County School District. I'm so proud to be an alumni here. And all my colleagues that work over in Louisville, we tell them all the time that we are on the sunny side with amazing schools. So keep up the great work for providing tools for success, no matter what one chooses to do. So way to go, FC, way to go.
Who's got the zingers now? Is that some sort of euphemism? Anyway, I think you mentioned that, I don't remember seeing you play, when Little League and stuff like that, and really because I just wasn't that memorable of a player at all, and that's probably part of the reason. But I will say that someone told me a couple of years ago that I still hold the the career record on the football team for fumble recoveries. And that makes perfect sense because I was never quite fast enough to cause a fumble, but I was always kind of about 2 seconds behind where I would just pick it up and just get lucky. And so that was my kind of claim to fame there. So, and I'm looking at all this turf that we have and things like that, and I was like, man, if they had that stuff when I was in high school, I would still be slow. So anyway. All right, next one, Derek Cook, class of 2001. When this name came up, that was my first year at FC, I believe, or actually it would have been that year, kind of 99 to 2000. But I distinctly remember someone at the Providence game, there being a plane fly over top of the stadium, and underneath the wings it said POP, underneath there. Now, I don't know if he was exactly responsible for that, and I did actually confront him about it, and he gave me a military answer. I can neither confirm nor deny that. So aside from, and that's the type of person that I want in the military, okay? Somebody that can do that sort of stuff and get away with it, right? So this guy flew helicopters for presidents. And now what I find a bit interesting is the photo of Derek that was submitted for his nomination. I don't know if anybody saw that. It shows him through the pilot window in Marine One, okay, looking on as President Obama walks up the steps. Now, the look on Derek's face is not like mine would be, with eyebrows raised and the general look of like, that's the president. Like, dude, that's the president. So it is one of seriousness, almost to the point of annoyance. It's sort of like the president was out taking a quick smoke break before boarding, and he's got to wait on it. And I think that just goes to show, it probably happened, right? I'm sure you saw that. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny. That just goes to show you how seriously and how well Derek fulfills his duty. So congratulations, Derek Cook, class of 2001.
Thanks, sir. All right, first of all, I just want to thank the Alumni Board for this recognition. It's truly one of the most meaningful honors I've ever received. Truly flattered to be standing here in front of you today, especially alongside these remarkable Highlanders. In addition to the Alumni Association Committee, I have to acknowledge and thank my parents, Jerry and Linda Cook. They always did their best to expose me to the myriad of opportunities that Floyd Central afforded me. Countless hours shuttling, coaching, pushing me to be involved in all the extracurricular activities. So I just want to thank them. They can't be here tonight, but they retired from the NAFC school system. So I owe it all to them. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Vanessa, down here, table 9. At every turn when given the choice between career and family, I consistently chose the Marine Corps. Vanessa's the glue that holds our house together, wrangling our 5 children, keeping the ship upright throughout numerous deployments, long-term training events, and for that, I'm truly grateful, so thank you. And when I graduated from Floyd Central back in 2001, which they say was the best class ever to walk the halls, I had the amazing opportunity afterwards to attend the United States Naval Academy. That school was a decent cross-section of the nation, but I quickly noticed students fell into one of two categories. You got your private and preparatory school graduates, and your public school graduates. However, Floyd Central is not your normal public school. And we talk about privilege a lot these days, and it comes in many forms. For me, the ability to attend Floyd Central High School was an absolute privilege. Rated 10 out of 10 with regard to college readiness, 9 out of 10 with regard to testing. 83% of the graduates go on to attend at least 2 years of school, 2 years of college. Recently, a friend of mine posted online a clip of the orchestra, and the caption read, "Y'all, this is not a normal school orchestra." And it's absolutely true. Floyd Central has some of the finest educators in the world. And I started to reflect on the experiences I had here, how they provide a foundation for the rest of my life, whether that be on the baseball field, the soccer field, down at Harvest Homecoming with the student council booth, out in the marching band, out in the parking lot, or even in the classroom. The Floyd Central faculty and the parents who work diligently behind the scenes shape the experiences here and provide a strong foundation for the rest of my life. Now, Floyd Central is known far and wide. Now, this week we know Barry Manilow knows about Floyd Central through the orchestra. And one day I landed in former Vice President Pence's yard, and as he came out, he got onto the helicopter, he shook my hand, and we started trading stories about Indiana. So he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from down around New Albany," as we all probably say, and then we refine it a bit. From New Albany, it's a small 2-stoplight town, Floyd's Knobs. He said, "I know Floyd's Knobs, been there many times, been to Huber's, great schools." I said, "Yes, sir." We went on to talk and trade stories for a few minutes, and then at the end, he slaps me on the back. He said, "Floyd's Knobs, you let me know anytime there's a Hoosier up front." And with that, we took off. But, it's just to show you how far and wide the name Floyd Central really rings. It may be no secret, I got in my share of mischief here in high school. I remember sitting in the office of one of our administrators, I won't name names, but he said to me, "Derek, frankly, I don't know if you have the discipline to make it." So I'm not sure if that fueled my fire, but I do appreciate the fact that as students here, we were given the freedom to express ourselves. Core memories for me include all the shenanigans during our senior year, all the fun we had, memories like the High Vander, the spirit section at the basketball games, and tractor day at the end of the school year, which I'm sure a lot of you participated in. I recognize that we pushed the limits, but I also appreciate that we were given the freedom to do so, because my 4 years attending Floyd Central were some of the best years of my life. And they say, obviously it's cliche, but it takes a village. It's not lost on me that there were countless teachers, coaches, mentors, all who helped me along the way. So I just want to say thank you to everyone here for being that village.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, Mike Pence slapped him on the back. That's just cool stuff. That's awesome. And so I'm glad to say, he comes from a great family, a family of educators, and I'm thankful that when I worked here, we didn't screw him up. Okay, we didn't screw him up. We did a good job. And also, on a serious note, thank you for your service. All right. Our next inductee is Tom Weatherston, faculty member. Mr. Weatherston has a tremendous legacy in the entire school district. He could not be here for this evening. Now, I never knew Mr. Weatherston personally, but I do remember when he was inducted into the New Albany Hall of Fame in 2009. His speech was just like you would expect a performer to be. It was self-deprecating, it was poignant and serious all at the same time, and he had the audience, clapping like seals. It was fantastic. So speaking on his behalf will be Melissa Combs, alumnus and Hall of Fame member.
I talked with Mr. Weatherston this morning. He's very, very ill. He's 94 and just not doing well. I wanted to say a few words about him. He was brilliant. And speaking for myself, I knew as a child I wanted to be on the stage, and I couldn't have been more blessed than to come to Floyd Central on so many levels, but to meet Mr. Weatherston and be taught by him, because he gave me the fundamentals and the techniques. He didn't play high school. He was very strict, and if you wanted to be in shows, you followed the rules and you learned the techniques. And he was incredible, which I still use today in my life. He was also brilliant in that when we came here, we didn't have the big auditorium, the wonderful place now. We had a little theater workshop, which was a little bitty room about the size of a bathroom. And we were able to do incredible shows there. How he managed that is beyond me. But all these people were crammed in this room and people loved it. We also had the cafetorium, which if any of the old timers remember, that we set up platforms, hardly had any set, but it worked too. And we all had to set it up before the show, perform it, tear it all down at night for school the next day. He was great too that there were no egos allowed. Everybody, even the stars of the show, had to help build the sets, paint the sets, work on costumes. You left your ego at the door. That was another good thing he taught us. One of the things those of us in the theater, the hardcore students, was he came up with a brilliant idea. The first time anybody performed Godspell in this area, Mr. Weatherston decided, let's have some jocks in the show, some athletic guys. And we're like, what? You want to bring those guys into our hallowed halls of true thespianism? He thought it would work to have the quirkiness of some athletes in the show. So one of them was Bill Esri, and one of them was Bradley here. Do you remember Godspell? And it worked. Somehow Mr. Weatherston knew to mix these different personalities and techniques on that particular show would work. And it was incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I think Bradley might say too. And everybody took something away from him, whether you went into the business or not. You really learned how to work together, how to bring out your personality, have fun, but create something artistic. And one thing I wanted to say after talking to him, he wanted to be sure to let everyone know who, some of his old students here, how much love he got from teaching all his former students and what we gave back to him to create art and create theater, which is his passion. And those I see tonight, he would just be so humbled to have him as a teacher. Rex, Brad, Vicki, Debbie, Pat, I think you did some shows. I don't know if I'm missing anybody that was in shows with him. But he wanted to say thank you from the bottom of his heart, and he wishes he could be here, but he sends his love. So for Mr. Weatherston, thank you.
So Melissa, are we going to see Barbie later on this evening? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Probably too obvious. I didn't need to say anything. Okay. Mr. Street, where are you seated? He's right there. Okay. Now, this next one is the Distinguished Highlander. This goes to Vicki Snow Hayes, who will come up here in just a moment, which, by the way, I want her to know that the way people will remember this ceremony will be however well you do your speech. So it all hinges on that. But I challenge anyone out there. Vicki's probably has no enemies. I don't know of anything. I want to challenge anyone out there to say anything bad about Vicki. Now, that's why in an introduction, I'm going to focus my attention on her spreadsheet-loving son-in-law and miniature-sized Daddy Warbucks, Chris Street, who is the CFO, not my CFO anymore, because he can't pull like a President Trump, like withhold funds just based on how he wants me to act. So he can't do that anymore. So actually, that would be just really too easy, and it would be cheap laughs. But I'm not above that, but I am going to focus on Vicki. Vicki is one of the most joyful people I have ever met. She can find it during the toughest of times, and I think she would say that she has been blessed with 3 successful children, 8 grandchildren, and her brand new husband, Jim, with whom she is very smitten. So with that, Vicki, congratulations, and step forward, and we want to hear what you have to say.
Everything else. All right. Yeah, I know they fall apart. I know. That's because I ordered them. How weird is that? So, well, I can honestly say I don't like being on this side of the podium as much as I like being out there when you guys, and I'm thinking it can't be that hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for this nomination. Obviously, I didn't expect it because the quality of this wall is amazing. And I was not ever really academic, I guess you could say. I was too busy having fun and playing, so cheerleading with Pat and having parties. But anyway, I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm very thankful that you chose me. And thank you to the board members who wanted to surprise me. That would have gone over big. So anyway, I'd like to also thank the people that have helped me through the theater department when my last 20 years of being here and in my daily life and outside of Floyd Central. I'd especially like to thank my children because they have to work around me a lot when I was saying, I've got a show, I'm sorry, I can't do anything to help you with the kids. My son Harrison, his fiancee Allison, my son Seth and his wife Sarah, and my daughter Casey and her husband Chris, who is the only one that didn't graduate from Floyd Central, but we didn't hold that against him because he was a teacher here at one time. So thank you all so much. And of course, my dear sister Debbie and all of my friends, my dear friends, thank you guys for coming and supporting me. You know, when this was announced, I got on Facebook, which I don't do very often because it's a rabbit hole for me. So, and I was reading a lot of really wonderful things, and one of the things that stood out to me was a quote Joe Hinton made. And he said, well, she had great parents. Her parents were really great. And I started thinking about them in my life and how blessed I've been by having a foundation, a structure, because a structure is only as good as its foundation, which several people mentioned tonight in their speeches. And we were really lucky at Floyd Central to have that foundation, because I got to be one of the first. I was a sophomore when the school opened, and we were scared to death to come here. We knew the Georgetown kids were going to get eaten up by all those Floyd Knobs kids, right? And it didn't work that way. It didn't work that way because of the camaraderie of the teachers and the coaches and people like Lawrence Moore and Joe Sequeira and Joe Hinton and Les Wright and Roger Whaley and the other teachers here. They set a tone that's been carried out to this day, and it makes this structure strong, even to this day. It's the big green machine. So you may notice, I don't know if you notice, there's an empty memorial table over there. And Jim, as was mentioned, that I'm engaged to, just got him out of the hospital today at 4:30. We spent the night at the emergency room, and I said, "Oh no, you're not getting out of it that easily. You're still going to be here. Next Saturday is our wedding, so you're not doing that." So, so anyway, he suggested that we have a memorial table for the people that meant something to us at Floyd Central as students from the 60s and 70s. And on the table, it's Carl and Florence Hayes, excuse me, which was my late mother and father-in-law. Florence was actually involved in the first PTO, and Carl actually physically built some things here at Floyd Central. We didn't have a lot of money, so people pitched in and did things. I think we even had to make our own first cheerleader outfits. We didn't even have enough money for that. And he had a big flagpole down by that he put in at the football field, the old football field. Doris and Bud Snow, they were my parents, my mom and dad, and Mom was active in the PTO, and she also worked at the school cafeteria, and she not only dispensed the food, but she gave out a lot of hugs to my friends, and she was kind of everybody's mom. And my dad was kind of roped into doing a lot of different things. He even built the gazebo for our junior prom. He was pretty handy. So he also kept the boys in line when they'd come and stop by and visit Debbie and I, which kind of was a full-time job. So, Van Pierce was Jim's dad. Van and other school, he was a science teacher here at Floyd Central. He also ran the planetarium. And he, including like Ray Weatherholt, and there was a few of them that were a little bit of raisers of fun, I've heard. And they also, they also helped engage students in an approach of learning that is still in effect today also. And if you've ever seen one of Van's planetarium shows, then you know what I mean. He would engage the kids readily. And then we also have, we're at an age, I'm the oldest one here, I know. That we're losing some of our classmates, and Dickie Molyneux and George Harder, and fellow cheerleaders, Susan Carter and Diane Thornton Zeller. And they all helped create what we'd call a creative and fun environment. And we love them, we miss them. I had a wonderful high school experience, and because of the relationships that I've developed along the way, it's continued through my entire life. Most of my friends here have been lifelong Floyd Central classmates and friends, and we've been through a lot through a life, and 50 years does go very fast, Linda, you're right, it goes way fast. And I've also been blessed with being able to see and participate at Floyd Central through the eyes of a student, through the eyes of a mother who has had 3 children graduate from here, and also one of the theater department family that I've been with for over 20 years. So I decided when I took this job that I was one of Mr. Weatherston's students also, and the lady that did our costumes was not very happy. She wasn't very nice, and I remembered that all these years, and it was my goal that I would never want a kid to think of anything bad about being in theater or being at this school. And so I know that everybody that left here that was in a theater department that I helped to put a costume on, they knew they were loved, they knew they were beautiful, and we laughed a lot. And so I want to be my legacy, is that they have a good time, they remember they had a good time, and I hope that they can carry that on through their life. So again, thank you so much for this recognition. I'm really grateful. I'm really, really grateful. And I'm glad that all of you could come to support us. Look at this. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you see what I have to put up with.
See, you did great. You did great. They got fatheads for you. It's good stuff. By the way, I have a hotel key here. Someone dropped it. Somebody must be staying at the Clarion Point tonight. So, I don't know, come and see me afterwards. Yeah, I'll give you a hotel key back. Otherwise, you're going to be sleeping out with, it's going to feel about like this, where you sleep in the parking lot. You know, Vicki, you are very smart. You know, you say you weren't very book smart, I guess. You're probably, I guess you're magazine smart, maybe. I don't know, butter label smart, maybe. I don't know. Fantastic. Anyway, great job. I have some closing remarks, just some housekeeping things. I would like Donna, Vicki, and Angela and Debbie to be recognized tonight. Okay, Donna Riley, of course, Vicki, Angela Bowman, and Debbie Shane, because they did this whole thing. They organized the whole event tonight. So it is their responsibility for the success. So thank you all very much. And Hall of Fame inductees, please report to the entry. We'll go on the steps. We typically take a picture there. So all of the inductees this year and all former Hall of Fame inductees, please meet over by the steps there. Check the silent auction status before you leave. Do not if the Alumni Association. That's not cool, so don't do that. Take the form and the item to the checkout that's outside. So take both the form and the item there. And also, I challenge you to nominate someone. Of course, the greatest resource this whole organization has is the success of the alums, and we want to recognize all of those people. Thanks again to the inductees, and I say to you, I believe there is a common thread among all of you fellow inductees who went in this evening. I read a recent article in The Atlantic, identified a significant problem in contemporary American life. Overall, the thesis of it was, it stated that American life is designed to maximize individual accomplishment as defined by professional and financial success. In other words, it is not set up to promote mutuality, care of one another, or common life. I really think that is what sets these individuals apart from one another, is they have each made a conscious decision to promote and care for those around them, and all of us are better for that. And with that, I bid you good night. May God bless you, and God bless Floyd Central High School.